Hey there, welcome. It's your host Amy from Penventure. In this video, we are going to talk about the 2021 Visconti collections, the Homo Sapiens demo stones. Being that the Homo Sapiens is the flagship model of Visconti, we are not going to focus on the size differences, particularities, because they are all the same. So the Homo Sapiens is one of the most well-known models from Visconti. In this video, we are going to focus on the things that set apart the Homo Sapiens Demo Stones collection from the other Homo Sapiens. I'm gonna show you the pen in details, then we will have a size comparison, and I will provide you with a writing sample, being that the new nib is very interesting, and we will get to that later in this video. And this is what you get when you order a Homo Sapiens Demo Stone fountain pen. We remove the cardboard sleeve, open the lid, and inside you will find the fountain pen resting safely. And under this fountain pen you will find here the warranty. Over the time, Visconti started to reduce the size and the features of the packing. I don't know how to say this, but I do love a big and heavy box, but at the end of the day that translates into very costly shipping. And at the end of the day, I don't keep my fountain pens in the boxes they were delivered, so eventually they end up in a drawer sitting and collecting dust. So for me, it's not such a huge deal that Visconti downsize their packing. This is the fountain pen, and we have 3 different colors. I'm going to show you all of them right here. So we have a sapphire, we have ruby, and green emerald. They look absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what is when I see a demonstrator, but I simply love the idea to see through. And when you sprinkle a little bit of color, it even makes it better. Although Visconti is coming up with this new collection fresh, it has history, and I'm going to show you 2 fountain pens. We have here the Homo Sapiens Jade and the Homo Sapiens Caput Mundi. 2 very successful collections in the same, let's say, aspect like the demo stones in regards of the general idea. So we have a fountain pen, which is demonstrator, colored demonstrator. These collections are limited editions. The Jade is sold out for quite a few years. The Caput Mundi as well. It's much more rare these days. And Visconti renewed their collection. For the people that ask if they look the same, let me show you that they don't look the same. So here we have on the left the Jade, which has a more milky color, and on the right we have the Emerald, which is a little bit more see-through and a different shade of green, a much more darker green. And let me put the ruby side by side with the Caput Mundi. Again, we have a different shade of color. On the left, we have the Homo Sapiens Caput Mundi, which is a little bit more warm, a little bit more see-through than the ruby. And on the right, we have the ruby. Now that we settled that, because I've heard a lot of people say it's the same pen. It's not the same pen, because I've showed you it's a different color, a different feel. But that is just the beginning. Now let's dive into more details regarding this fountain pen. And I don't know which one to choose from to show you the details and to base my review on, but I'm gonna pick my favorite, which is the sapphire, the blue one. Now let's go into some of the details. On the finial, we have a set stone. It's the same color like the rest of the fountain pen. Very interesting, and this is where it takes the same appearance like the Visconti Jade. Only on the Jade it's not that protruding, and on the demo stones it's a little bit different. It's more obvious. We have the clip, which is the Ponte del Vecchio clip, very practical, spring-loaded, beautiful. And something which is very nice is that in this collection, the actual lettering on the clip with Visconti, we have the same color like the rest of the fountain pen in that enamel, which I think adds a little bit more character and sets your fountain pen to be a bit more unique that way. We have the two rings on the cap. The cap is using the hook safe lock mechanism, which is brilliant, very easy to use, very convenient, keeps your fountain pen closed with only a quarter of a turn. We remove the cap and we have the nib. And this is where Visconti has gone in a different route. We have the latest 14 karat gold nib. As you know by now, Visconti discontinued the 23 karat palladium dream touch nibs and swapped to in-house made 18 karat gold nibs. Recently they announced a new nib, the 14 karat gold nib, which has a lot of unique features. It's made in-house. Please don't take into consideration the fact that the gold content of the alloy being 14 karat is less expensive. Maybe it is. Personally, analyzing the nib, I think is the same process, and I think the biggest percentage of a price of the nib is in work and not the gold content of the alloy. But I could be mistaken easily. The 14 karat gold nib is set apart by a new pattern which is stamped on the nib. I don't know why, but this pattern takes me to Star Wars, or I don't know if you remember this from your childhood years, but there was a PC game called Quake, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the logo of that game is very similar to this stamping that we find on the Visconti nib. I don't know, my mind takes me in that direction. This 14 karat gold nib is available in a few sizes: extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and a 1.3 millimeter stub. Remember, we don't have any price difference between the extra fine and the rest of the nib sizes. Usually Visconti charges more for extra fine and stub. On the 14 karat gold nib, I haven't seen this price difference. This 14 karat gold nib, along with the plastic ABS feed, are friction fitted inside a plastic collar, together forming the Visconti nib unit, which you can remove from the fountain pen using a specialty tool, and you can substitute with a different nib unit. Also, I think the nib units are the same, so in theory you can pretty much put on this fountain pen a 18 karat gold nib unit or even a 23 karat palladium dream touch nib unit. Moving further, we have the ergonomic section, which I adore at the Homo Sapiens line from Visconti. It's comfortable, it's not too big, it has a slight hourglass shape. The capping grooves are very well polished. They are perfect. They don't catch, they don't snag, they don't scratch. I don't find them uncomfortable. Then we have the Homo Sapiens ring, the barrel ring, which is iconic by now. We have Homo Sapiens on this ring. Usually on the back of it we will find a limited edition number. This collection is not a limited edition, so this is good because it's a different pricing. Also, it's available for much more time than a limited edition. Usually the limited edition gets sold out and that's it. Now you can have the fountain pen to have a longer lifetime, shelf lifetime, to say so. And here is where I want to point out a few things. I think Visconti is starting to separate the limited editions from the normal editions, and this is where we have a different nib grade, the 14 karat gold nib on this regular edition, and we have the 18 karat gold nib kept for limited editions. You will see in the writing sample that the performances are not that different, so I think it's a big bonus, because now you will have a demonstrator fountain pen in the Homo Sapiens line at a much more affordable price than the limited edition. So the limited edition is 830 euros. That translates to roughly 900 US dollars for the limited edition of this year, the Tuscan Hills. This Homo Sapiens Demo Stones collection is priced a little bit better, 715 euro or something like this, 710 euros. And this makes the fountain pen to be more accessible. Pretty much you get the same fountain pen with the same things, the same features. The nib is different, and that sets the collection different from the limited editions. And I'm sure the 2021 collection holds a lot of surprises, and you will see that. Now, let me point out a few details regarding the colors. All of the colors are amazing, each individually, and my favorite one is the blue one because the ruby one comes very close to the Caput Mundi, a little bit different but still close. The emerald comes with the jade, which I think it's different, but again it's also green. And the one that I would add to my personal collection is the blue one. My collection has a few spots left out, and blue is a color that I'm missing from my personal collection. So this is why I based my review on the blue pan. Now let's continue with the details. We have the barrel, which again is similar to any other Homo sapiens. It's pretty much the same shape. It's not tapering in drastically. It only tapers in from the middle down to the piston knob. And we have the piston knob, which this time features a metal and finial with the V logo. Now let's have a few words regarding the filling system. This is the well-known double reservoir power vac filling system from Visconti. It's a trademark. It's a filling system that I love, and I think it's one of the most iconic things regarding a Visconti. Each and every single time that I want to impress a person in front of me that has not been familiar with font pans, I take out a Homo Sapiens and I show how it is filling, and they are all mesmerized by this filling system. I think it's practical, it's easy to clean, it's very reliable. I haven't seen a power vac failing in many years since I collect them. And the double reservoir power feature is very handy and convenient if you travel a lot, maybe not in this period, but again, if you are aboard of a plane and you want to keep your font pen inked. Usually if it doesn't have this filling system, you would need to store it nib up. It would need to be full of ink. Well, with this one, you only need to unscrew it like this, empty out the second chamber of ink. Then you will screw the piston knob like this, trapping the ink behind the piston. And now you have a font pen that can be taken on a pressurized environment without risking it burping ink and staining your shirt. Well, those are the details of the Homo Sapiens Demo Stone collection, and this is what sets them apart from different font pens in the Homo Sapiens line. Now, let's have a size comparison, then a writing sample with the 14 karat gold nib, and in the end I will share some of my opinions regarding this font pen. Here we have the Homo Sapiens Demo Stones Sapphire next to other pen models. From left to right we have Stipula Etruria Rainbow, Visconti Opera Master, Visconti Homo Sapiens Demo Stones, Scribo Feel, and Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande. The measurements of the font pen are capped 148 millimeters, uncapped 130 millimeters, posted 174 millimeters. The total weight of the font pen uninked and capped is 39.5 grams and uncapped is 23.5 grams. And here we go with the writing sample. So we have the pen, and this is the Visconti Homo Sapiens Demo Stones, and this is Sapphire. The ink, and I haven't inked the font pen. I will leave this courtesy to the new owner, and the ink is Visconti Blue. Then we have the nib, and this is 14 karat gold, and this is an extra fine point. And we are on Tomoe River paper 52 GSM. Now let me show you the ink flow because this is important. It's moderate, and for extra fine nib I would even go to say that it's a little bit dry, but this makes the line to be much more finer than other Visconti nibs. So this can be addressed. If you want a more wet nib, you need to mention that in the email and we can increase the flow, but of course it will be shown in the thickness of the line. Now, a few normal figure of eights, very fine nib with a hint of a feedback, super smooth for extra fine nib. And now let's apply some pressure. And we do have line variation. It can be obtained a little bit more easy than an 18 karat gold nib. And I find this nib to be very playful and very nice. Now let's do the famous sentence, and here we go. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Beautiful nib, there isn't any hard starts, there isn't any hesitation. The feel of this nib is very smooth, the flow is very well balanced, and I don't know what to say. Very good job from Visconti on this 14 karat gold nib, of course. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the writing sample. And now let me share you some of my thoughts regarding the Homo Sapiens demo stone collection. First of all, let's start with the nib. I know many of you ask yourself, what is the difference in between the 14 karat and the 18 karat? I don't find as much differences as you may think. I find the 14 karat gold nib to be a little bit more flexy, soft. That adds a certain feel for the nib. So you will feel that the nib is much more smoother because being softer, actually the nib acts like a shock absorber. So you have a lot of imperfections in the paper. The nib being softer, it acts like a shock absorber. So you will find that the fountain pen feels more smooth. Maybe that's just me, but this is what I'm getting after testing the 14 karat gold nib. A little bit more softer, you will have line variation, but again, be more careful because being softer, you can easily spring one of these nibs. On a different matter, the line that the 14 karat gold nib makes, it's pretty similar to the 18 karat gold nib. So now, different from the 23 karat palladium dream touch nib, the 14 karat and the 18 karat are more true to their size. So extra fine will be pretty fine. A fine will be again fine. And now we have new aspects why to love Visconti nibs. Another aspect that I would like to tackle is that these fountain pens are very practical. It's a very comfortable fountain pen, and don't shy away of carrying this fountain pens. Being a flagship model, it's popular and I've seen a lot of them being carried every single day. When you put ink in a Homo Sapiens demo collection fountain pen, you will see that the ink, it's visible, you can see the level, you can get that feedback by watching the ink sloshing around in the barrel, although it's very unlikely that you will see the actual color of that ink inside the barrel. But again, it's a nice feature, and you can see when you run out of ink, the ink volume is there. We have a lot of ink. If you get a full barrel of ink, trust me, you will write down for many weeks. We do have available a few nib sizes in stock, so if you're looking for extra fine, medium, you can have them right away from our stock. We are still looking forward to get the broad and the stub really soon. If you are interested in owning one of these fountain pens, down below you'll find the links for them. You can check the website, you can go there, order it from the Pen Venture website. Also, write down in an email if you want me to adjust your fountain pen nib, and if you're looking for a certain feel for the nib, you need a little bit more feedback or none at all. Maybe you wanted more medium flow, or if you wanted super wet, you need to email me these details and I will address and adjust the nib for you. Thank you for spending this time with me reviewing the Homo Sapiens Demo Stone collection. Be sure, if you're not subscribed yet, to subscribe to the Penventure YouTube channel and support me doing videos like this. Click here, turn the notification bell on, give this video a big thumbs up if it's useful, and if you want to see more of my content, click on this video and enjoy. My name is Emi and I look forward to seeing you next video. Take care, stay safe, bye bye.